So today we'll have our questions answered because we have too many questions to get on. Well, one of our questions is, do you like treasures? Well, you go on a treasure hunt and hunting, and yes, like some kind of days we should find eggs. But actually we could see that birds actually like eggs, crabs like to hide things, and also like other kinds of things. But we should try them all. Well, first is, who is the greatest, cutest rats? Well, actually not rats, it's squirrels. Squirrels have find it this kind of seeds and plant them in the ground, and they actually forgot where they hid it. So they couldn't be eaten but grown into trees. And they find more nuts and they plant them in the ground and get more trees. Like that, it's a cycle of squirrels every day. And also for like this, there are also the fire ants. Like that, there is actually in a really hot place in fire ants. It has this insect meat. Yes, insect meat room. So they have used it. But for many reasons that we can see that not only insects do this, like crabs, decorator crabs has this kind of shell, and then they decorate it with sea of enemies and also weeds. And also the house wasps, barn house wasps, is actually having all these insects that have died and then put it in their nests. But now there is the Guttermess bird bus. It is interesting because it is really big and have every kinds of things. Like even shoes, CDs, drinks, hats, gems, swords, and bones, and more. Like that, there are many kinds of things, such as horseshoes. And now let's go to the next one. Well, for one thing, we see many birds in the sky, but birds could not get how this birds. Like there is the glass place, and they could not know it's the glass one. And you don't know, they actually go through, they think they could go through the building, but they can't. And so they crash into the glass and die. That's like for many kinds of birds die like this every year. So that's why many people are trying to prevent this. Now, the one thing, the big fin squid. Well, the big fin squid was actually not ready because we only see this that while it's floating. But this day, they found the real living giant big fin squid, which is tentacles are really long. But some of them, like if they find prey, they catch them with their fins, tentacles. But sometimes when they see their other predators, they get off these tentacles and run away. Like that is some kind of interesting life of this big fin squid. For one thing, we see this taste of ourselves. We don't know it will one day stop. We don't know our taste buds will keep working until we die. Because sometimes people who are really old that they could not taste other too spicy, but they can only taste, well, really sweet ones. That's why many people like sweet food. We could have some questions. Is my dog ADHD? Well, we don't know because many dogs have ADHD. And actually about 20% is like that. Sometimes ADHD thing is like when we have this, like we have to get these dogs along, but they had getting every cushion, getting out of fur, and also constantly bark or actually run away, getting on, and couldn't make anything worse. But if you put this like pate and into a mat, like a puzzle, then they can have this, what do we say, dog's mind open, and they could finally get to make the dogs get into my control. So one thing, horses. Horses are really big right now, but at really medieval times it wasn't that big because it's for when the knife falls down with this horse, they could easily get up to the horse. But nowadays it's hard because nowadays horse is really big. I mean tall. And also now for a really great love story. So if someone like you, we could just say it's Crimea River. Well, for one thing, for many like years, we could see our lovers. But some people just find them in days. So it's like we don't know how it feels to lose. And actually, like, we could just have 84 behaviors. But like this is just turning away, have a new life begin. Well, you just have like this. Just think of anything else you love. Then it will actually constantly won't be fit because it will suddenly disappear from your mind. So then you can never see someone again. And not only that, we can see only thing. If you touch something, well, when you touch something, what do you feel? Do you feel is hell? You're thinking about that? No, actually, its real definition is nothing, no thinking, but just touching, just as our sensitive fingers into some kind of object. But actually, that comes to think, why don't we know the definition different? Because when we're having more questions in London, at that time there was no smartphones, so we don't know. It was just the right definition, but it was just came from ear to ear. Then it came to one of the sudden the definition was written that way. So that's why we should try listening to others and now having the real definition on backtrack. And the last question is, well, kind of, is our brain living in the past? Like some people can go out of the future and trying living in the past. But actually we can stop that because it's kind of consequentially interesting because we can live when we thinking we live in the past. So it's actually kind of possible, but in other ways it's impossible. So many people can getting in course. And like Scott is actually like our eye exercise, and they're using like that. Well, I hope your questions are getting revealed. I hope you have a good day and celebrate your week. Bye!